As a tabletop role-playing game video content creator out here trying to entertain and inform people in the tabletop role-playing game hobby, I've had to make some drastic decisions. Do I just want to shoot my mouth off? Do I just want to pigeonhole myself into a certain part of the audience? And do I have to realize that gaming is deeply personal to a lot of people in the audience? And who do I want here? Look, see, I could criticize games really, really easy. And I have in the past. I did it ignorantly without realizing what that was doing. So, I have switched up because I've decided that I really want to be able to speak to everyone in the tabletop role-playing game hobby. But if I'm too critical, I can't. Now, I could bitch at the audience, that part of the audience, whatever part of the audience that where I'd be criticizing a game that they like and go, hey man, you shouldn't take it so personal. But it's been 50 years, the hobby's been around, and that doesn't work. So I don't want to be someone who's cheap and says things I don't believe either. I don't want to be fake, right? So how do I do this in a fair way? Well, it's called covering the facts and trying my best to deeply understand games. So if you noticed in my fact-based coverage, well, I'm covering all games, but what am I doing? I'm being completely fair to them. I'm understanding how sensitive you are. I'm not putting my personal criticism in there, but I'm just covering the facts, so I'm not saying things that I initially agree with in all cases. And that's sort of my meat in the middle. Look, for years, I might be someone who criticizes certain editions of D&D, right? Right? Some of you, if you've been around, you will have known that I've done that. Look at my coverage of AD&D 1E. Now, I'm an Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition guy, as they would say, as far as editions of Dungeons & Dragons goes. My coverage of AD&D 1E, well, it made AD&D 1E people happy. Because I did my best to try to understand the game. And I understand D&D old school at a very deep level. So I brought all that to the floor. That's what I did. I covered the facts, and I tried to understand it. Because I realized if I just shoot my mouth off, you walk away and you don't listen. And I need to decide as a YouTuber, what am I? If I'm here to entertain you, well, how can I do that? How can I inform you if I make you upset and get you to walk away? So I've decided that my very critical side needs to be put away. Not to deceive you, not to say things as if they're my opinions when they're not. So, pretend, play yes man, right? Say things that you want to hear in that way to get you here. I don't want to cheap you out either. It's easy to dismiss games, all kinds of different tabletop role-playing games. It's easy. And the second you do and you start saying something nasty about them, you'll notice if you're in a room with gamers and some people like that, man, it gets tense, right? It gets uncomfortable. Either people will shoot their mouth off back at you, or they go quiet. They go quiet, and they have a hard time hiding their feelings, right? Some can get edgy about it. What's happening is people take it personal. Games are personal. And I think here's why. Here's why. It's, if I say that game sucks, I'm saying what you do sucks. I'm saying your decision to like that game sucks. In a way, I am taking a personal shot at you. It's not meant to be that. I might be just criticizing the game, but in a way I am saying, well, you made a stupid choice. You play a stupid game. And you're going to take it as if I'm saying that. In a way I am, right? Right? So how do I just get you on board with me? How do I do that? Well, it's to be fair to you. Because I don't, no matter what game I don't like, it doesn't mean I'm right. But trying to get you to understand that is secondary. I got to push that aside, right? I could be completely wrong in my opinion. I could say your game sucks, but I'm open to being wrong. It doesn't mean it actually sucks overall. But again, how am I saying it? Man, it's so picky, these things, right? So I've decided, really, my approach to games is to just be fair, try to understand them, and cover the facts. And when I talk about games, I give you what I've done instead of focusing on doing content that tears something down in a certain way, tears you down. AD&D 1E. You'll hear criticism out there, like I heard tonight. Oh, it's all combat, it's all this, it sucks, it's no good. And when I try to deeply understand what the game is, I understand that it's not all combat. And when you understand what elements aren't real to the game, you start understanding how it works. Now, it's not my cup of tea. That's the part I'll be real with you about. Not my cup of tea, but I understand it. I can be critical about miniature gameplay, so let me be as fair as I can here. The figurines are cool. I'm a nerd, right? And I think there's absolutely nothing wrong if somebody feels the need to want to use them. I know people that could do pure theater of the mind at the largest level of combat with no issues, and they'll still use miniatures because they like them. I think that's cool. I think they're cool. I personally don't. But I want you here. See, I realize lately I've been being a little critical towards that in a way that contradicts what I'm saying in this video. So I gotta back off. I gotta understand what makes miniatures appealing. And there's many things. First off, they're cool. They're a hobby outside of just gaming. Painting, right? And people have invested time into that. They care about these things. And they're related to wargaming, something some people in the hobby like. Wargaming. And do they work? Yep. And should I be mad when people are always trying to push, hey, this is the game, not theater of the mind? Well, what am I doing? I'm taking it personal. I mean, I don't agree, and I think the facts are on my side when it comes to a certain portion of that debate, but I need to get over it because I'm the content creator, not you. And that's the part I've had to come to. See, if I want the responsibility of entertaining you and informing you, it's not you that has to get over it. It's me. I got to step above. I got to lead by example, I guess. But not really either. I just got to step above. I mean, what's the point of being mad at you if you think something I disagree with, but gaming is personal to me like it is to you? Then I'm getting angry. It's like, it doesn't work. Miniatures work fine for Dungeons and Dragons. There you go. Works fine. You can have a great time using miniatures. That's it. I could think of all kinds of criticisms, but at the end of the day, they work. And they're cool. They work, and they're cool. AD&D 1E works. See, if you start realizing AD&D 1E is not about combat, and that the whole game is about avoiding combat, you start realizing the criticism out there, AD&D 1E, well, the combat breaks down at level 10. Well, if the game was about combat, then it would break down, but it's not. So if you understand the game, you start realizing it's not broken at all. Fights are meant to be pretty intense at higher levels, and the true way that you gain experience is through treasure, through magic items. Yeah. Gold to XP. Yeah. That's a thing, because the game is not about combat, because these are the people that design, the original D&D stuff came from the wargaming community, where combat is secondary to strategy. See, you do everything you can in that game to win, but that doesn't mean combat. That doesn't mean brute force. You avoid it where you have to. You only fight the fights you have to fight. Sometimes you even have to lose a bit of the fight just to create openings for your victory. So it's all a mind game and strategy. AD&D 1E works perfectly fine. It's a mint game. Now, what about certain aspects of tournament play? And I do talk about the separation. I think the home game is not the tournament play. But everything works. You got to be patient. It still comes down to the quality of the people and then how you actually perceive what it is you're doing. But if you perceive it, I would say by the way the designers have it made, the game works. I'm a second edition guy. That game works. BECME works. In some cases, some games are a little loose. They work, but they can depend on the people, lean on the people. But I think that's all true in every game. Your perspective is important. Very important. I realized that I love tabletop role-playing games. Every single one of them, pretty much. I do. I respect every edition. You might be like, what about 3rd edition? Yeah, I would just say this. Once I understand why they go at it the way they do, this comes with the wisdom and understanding, I get less offended by what they're doing. Well, let's see. Were a lot of people playing the game in a similar fashion, older D&D, that you see with 3rd edition, even if we would know that that's not the way the game designers in old school meant it to be played. Yeah, people were playing it in alternative ways for many reasons. Not understanding or just wanting to play it that way anyway. And guess what? As much as we wouldn't want to think about this, it was popular to do a lot of combat in old school. Even though the game is about survival and it's about avoiding combat pretty much at all costs, at every turn. Doesn't mean you can avoid combat, and a lot of times, just like any other game that you see outside of D&D, combat is more of a punishment than it is something you should be getting into. Because it sucks up resources, it does all kinds of bad things. If survival is the key, you get in, you get loot, you avoid as much combat, if not all of it, if you can. Because you're looking to survive. Survival is the closest thing to winning. What's the point of the game? You get to here, you get to level 20, what's the whole point of the game? Tabletop role-playing games, you make up the point of the game. See, I think a lot of people forget that the games still have to lean on us as people. They got to lean on us. If whatever's going to matter, it has to matter to us, and we have to put things in there that make something matter to us. What's the purpose of what you're doing? Right? There you go. Now, again, with WotC, you start realizing they've seen it as a lot of people playing with the combat, and that means if you're going to think it's more of a combat game and you're going to lean into it because you see people doing that, you're going to want the combat to be balanced. At least like a fair chance. Why have all this unbalanced combat if people seem to be aiming at that and you decided you're going to play into it? And really, why would you be mad when you realize all they're doing is seeing a lot of people play the game already that way and assisting? A lot of old school DMs would, if you talk to them privately, it's hard for, they look through a monster manual and they're just, a lot of monsters are going, that's cool, but I'm not going to use that because it's hard for me to make a balanced encounter combat-wise. I mean, I know for a certain group of people, minority, around old school, we know it's about survival. We know that's not the purpose of the game. Like, why would there be unbalanced combat? Not because the game is meant to be dangerous with combat and you got to avoid. No, it's meant to be avoided at all costs in all situations. That's the truth. you're really like, that's why you're like, you go in and you shouldn't have bucket loads of treasure, because most good treasure should be beyond a fight, and it's nothing more than taunting you, right? So you should avoid that fight, but that means you avoid the treasure. And you're going to get more treasure as you level up and you have more skills, more abilities, you're better at doing things. And that's when you start getting more magic items, because they give you more experience, and you need that more experience at higher levels if you're not doing a lot of combat. At higher levels, you can finally start aiming a bit at combat, being a hero. You can go from just surviving to being a hero. So the early part of the game is survival. And to build your name up, your reputation, and gain funds. What's the point of that process? It doesn't mean the game is broken at level 10. You're not supposed to be running out there and getting in all kinds of encounters. At level 10, now you can go fight the dragon. You finally have accessed better magic items. You have better skills. Now you can do more than just survive. That's when the higher levels, I used to tell my players, the game starts at level 9. They'd be like, well, what do you mean? Well, I'm like, well, you see this as playing a hero type of game, right? They'd be like, yeah. Well, the game even somewhat pitches that it's meant to be a hero game in some cases. Well, how does it become a hero game? It's not at level 1. It's going to be at level 9. When you're capable of doing more than surviving. Now the option is to go out there and fight, but you don't go willy-nilly. You're still partly looking to survive in this world. But now you can help others. Now you can save others. Now you can do more. That's when you become the hero. You've earned the reputation, right? You've gained the abilities, right? You went from the farmer to the somebody. Dungeons and Dragons is a special game. It doesn't matter how many people talk about it or how annoyed people get with it. Oh, everyone talks about D&D and this and that. Raw, whatever. No, at the end of the day, here's the truth. And I think the designers understood this. To create the debate that this is the game and you can't jimmy away from it, you would hear people like Gary saying one breath, yeah, this is the game, and then another breath, okay, it's still the game, regardless to how you do it. Like, because it's called the designers learning as they go, because it's a new hobby. They're evolving the conversation, and they're looking at what their statements cause in conflict. This is what I'm doing as a content creator for you all. I'm evolving. I'm learning as I go. I think Gary, many people in the hobby were learning as they go. One statement can lead to fractures, walls, tear people apart in a hobby meant to bring people together. So if you say this is what D&D is, like if it's raw, this is what you do. This is what you do, because you looked, it's no way Gary can get around it. He looked at his staff. What they do with D&D, whatever they wanted. When he ran it, he did whatever he wanted. He realized the game is yours. And it's not, D&D is whatever you make of it. As long as you're willing to buy the D&D game, invest in the company, and then you take the product home, and whatever you do with it, that's Dungeons and Dragons. And to say otherwise, he understood it does this. To say whatever you do with it is still D&D, it's a realization. You're causing conflict between people. Now, D&D isn't the centerpiece of the hobby. Of course it's not. I love all kinds of games. All of them. In their own ways. Tunnels and Trolls, Traveler, Palladium, Heroes Unlimited. Talked about a unique game recently, Castle Falkenstein, Pendragon, World of Darkness. I even realize that a lot of people want to control what the hobby is, and the more you try to control it, well, not everyone's going to agree, so if you get control, that's why you can't have control. I think the attempt to control the hobby is useless because it does this, when the idea of the hobby is to do this. I don't get stuck on definitions. I like to simplify things, right? Because I think there's arguments out there to attempt to control what everyone else is doing. See, here's what I want. I want you to have the freedom to go back to your table, do what you want, and not feel degraded. Not have someone tell you that what you do is wrong, that what you do is lesser than them, and what they do is better than you. I want to get back to the main focus of the tabletop role-playing game hobby. The people. It's more about the people than it is about the games. That's really all it is. So how you play something, it's corny and it might not be what people want to hear. It might even make it hard to make certain types of content. You can't criticize, you can't say. If you and your players are enjoying what you're doing, if that's not the core of this hobby, is the outcome, the experience, if that's not the most important detail, then what are we doing? What's the point of the hobby? Get together, socialize, escape the real world, and have a good time. Whatever we call it. It could be laughing. It could be taking it serious. But the point is to get together. Meet the people. Have the experience. And there's all kinds of different ways to enjoy the games, but at the same time, some people enjoy it in different ways than other people do. Some people may enjoy it in ways they're not experiencing because they're not doing it that way. That's fair. But how do you get those people to try the different way? By preaching at them about them being wrong? Well, that doesn't get people to listen to you. I think what you do is you talk about why you love something, why you think what you're doing is good, but not to imply what you're doing is better in any way. You got to be sensitive, because to imply it is to say someone else is doing it wrong or worse than you. You're degrading people, even as you think you're just degrading a game. I don't want that. I want you to know that when you go sit at the table and you play AD&D First Edition with miniatures, if you and your players are having a great time, no matter how I run Second Edition, even with Pure Theater of the Mind, no matter how great that is for me, it can't be better or even worse than what you're doing. You're happy. Now, if I want you to be open-minded to what I'm doing, well, let me just tell you about it. I'll tell you about the way I experience it. But then I got to be careful there, because I don't want to imply that what I'm doing is better. All I can say is it's better for me, because gaming is personal, right? So I just want you to know my real stance on the tabletop role-playing game hobby and the way I'm evolving as a content creator making videos for you. I want you to know that when you go around listening to people say the thing that bugs you every so often, that's not what you're going to get here. I don't play yes man, but I'll be fair. I'm trying to understand the games, not hate them. I want to share the facts with you, not create a false opinion that I don't have. And sometimes they say, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So why be negative in a hobby where there's enough negative people making video content? There's enough of them. And even at the same time, there's nothing wrong with that. There's some people that find the negative appealing. And I'm not going to hold that against them. It's just not what I'm doing here. But my channel is for them and you and everyone. My channel is for people that don't like me, that are in the tabletop role-playing game hobby. My channel is for the people that love me. My channel is for the people that don't know me yet. Here's what I guarantee. I'm going to care about the hobby. I'm going to care about you. I'm going to care about how you feel, because I want to entertain you and inform you. And if I don't care, I'll fail. So I got to care about strangers. But isn't that what you're supposed to do? You know, you want to be rewarded for the hard work you put out there. What's the work you're doing? In life, when you work for something, you're serving somebody. You're doing what they want. Well, if I'm only here serving my own needs, how am I serving you? And if I do want something from you, your support, don't I have to work for it? Don't I have to serve you? So I decided, going forward, I'm going to serve you. I've evolved, like Gary, like many in the hobby, and I'm not perfect. And I'm sure you can find statements within my content, if you dig back far enough, that you'll find imperfections in my approach. You will. And if you've known me for a while, you know I'm being imperfect. That's part of trying to understand. But I think I'm where I need to be for everyone. They say you can't serve everyone. I think that's a lie. I think you can. And I just want people in the hobby just to hear this stuff out. I think there's so many cool things to talk about. But how do I open the door if I keep attacking you? It just doesn't work. I got to be honest with myself about who you are and not hate you or be mad at you for being who you are. We love these games. We have a passion for them. And that's why things are so deep. Outsiders might not get it. But just like sports, I get it now. I used to grow up and see people that were one way about sports, where I'd be like, man, if I criticize the team, it's not like a big issue. It is to them because they have passion for the team, passion for the players, passion for this. And I go, well, how can I respect it until I realize, wait, what about my passion for tabletop role-playing games? Oh, it's the same thing. So then I learned to respect people with passions. And in life is pretty boring. You make of it what you will. You have to make it matter. So guess what? It's okay that a game matters that much to you. It's okay that a game matters that much to me. There. I wanted to make this video so you can understand where I'm at, because many of you might have closed the door on me, or many of you might be ready to close the door, or just unsure. You're unsure of where I'm at, right? You're waiting for the breakdown, for me to say the thing. Honestly, the miniature thing has been the closest thing to going in the wrong direction. I just need to realize the outcome is all that matters. You're playing with miniatures and you're having a great time. I need to be wise and understand that. Not hate it. Not imply what I'm doing is better. And I need to understand that many of you will have the flaw. And I need to stop expecting you to care about my feelings. Okay? Not your job to serve me. And I'm the one asking for something from you. So I got to be able to take it and still do right by you at the same time. And maybe through that hard work and serving you, you'll reward me. Yeah, I want an audience. I want to do this, right? I don't want to cheat. I don't want to be cheap about it. But I do want it. I do want it. I think I have it in me to be this thing, to be in front of the camera, to be an entertainer. I think I have it in me. And I think with the more support, that becomes a real thing for me. But I don't want to be scandalous, and you got too many scandalous people out there already trying to use you. I want to have a good relationship with you, where when you turn to me, it's not corporate. When you turn to me, it's not bullshit. When you turn to me, you realize, yeah, I'm saying things that you can handle, but I'm not doing it dishonestly. And I've heard all your demands, from being honest to what you need. And I think I finally found the balance to these things. Just took me a while to get here. Learn about myself. Stop being selfish. Again, how can I get something from you when I'm working for me? I've been doing that on YouTube for a lot of years. Working for me. But I need it to work for you. You're the one I want something from. Not in a bad way. I do want your support, I want all that, but I need to work for you like I would work at any other job for someone who's my boss. I need to take that serious. The job has to be good, has to be done on time, has to be done right. And my boss doesn't care how I feel, just that I do the job. And I get that you don't care how I feel, or you shouldn't need to. It only matters that I do the job. And I do the job you want. Because you're the one rewarding me. You're the one paying me. You're the one watching, subbing, doing all that. I hope that I'm getting closer to where you want somebody to be. I get that you don't want drama. You don't want people attacking each other. That's already done enough. And even if there's a need for that, other people feel that need. Maybe I'm even the target of attacks. But me focused on that and being selfish and caring about people attacking me is no good. I'm here to work for you. I don't got time to defend myself. Not really. I'm here to work for you. I'm here to work for you. It doesn't matter who complains when they walk through the door. It only matters that I get the job done. So I'm here to get the job done. So I'm not going to say the things that's going to bother you. I'm going to try to understand why you love what you love. I'm going to be wise about it and fair to that thing every time. I'm doing this video because I had that realization after having a bit of a debate about the miniature thing, and that's why I wanted to bring that up, because I'm like, okay, cross the line, but this is part of it. I'm at the edge, right? And I had that one thing left, and my nerd rage came up, just like yours. You have the right to be who you want to be in that way. I don't. And that's okay. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I don't have the right to be that way and then get your support. I have to be above because you need to trust me if I want you to look my way. You need to know that I stand above all this other stuff. You need to trust me. You need to believe in me. Well, I can't be what you need me to be if I'm weak. So I'll be strong for you, for the audience, for everyone. And I hope you notice that with the content. I really do hope you notice it. I really do. The fact-based stuff, everything. I can't erase every bit of the past comments I made in my content. And I've taken enough down that I will not take any more down, because I think there's information within all my videos that is good overall. But I want you to know, and I ask, if you look at old videos of mine and you hear a criticism that hurts you, remember back to this video and then judge me on what I'm doing now. And what you'll realize is, okay, that he might have said that, but he's not there anymore. Okay, I love you. Please subscribe to the channel. Share the videos that you want to share out. Give me as much time of your time as you can. Play videos in the background. If you like a video, please press the button. Every time. Because if it's true, I need the support. That is important. Every bit of it's important. Every bit of it. And I can't underestimate it. And I got to be forward with you and just ask now. Watch the videos. Give me your time. I'm giving you mine. I'm going to work for your time. I'm not just requesting it. I'm telling you, I'm putting the work in to earn it. Subscribe to the channel. You won't have to worry about stability. Look, what you might hear in the past, years ago, sorry, I can't fix that, but don't unsub. Pay attention to what I'm doing now. I won't give you a reason to unsub going forward. I respect who you are, what you are, and I think by doing that, I don't have to worry about you being unstable, because I'm no longer going to say the things that are going to drive you away from this channel. And all I ask is that when you hear stuff about me, judge me personally. Not what people say about me personally. And if I am that person, I guess you'll encounter it. If I'm not, that's not what you're going to encounter. Okay. I love you. Welcome to my channel, my YouTube channel. And welcome to my world. We're going to have a lot of fun going forward.